Hey everybody, welcome. We have a new season 3 of the Steelers Chat, and you guys, I want to apologize because I had no ladies on the show last season. So I said first things first, we're getting women on the show. We are getting Yinzhers' own Sam and Morgan. Thank you guys for coming on. Hey ladies.
So
Hey,
excited.
Dee. We are so excited that we're your first women on the podcast.
Yes, you guys should have been on here last season. I'm, scheduling a bunch of things happened, but look, you're here. I'm so excited. If you haven't logged in and tuned into them on Yinzhers, please do. We're missing Jordan, but we're going to get her next time as well. But what you ladies been up to? You guys feeling good?
I'm just ready for football. I mean, like when you asked us to do this podcast and we're trying to schedule it around all three of our crazy hectic schedules, I was like, okay, yeah, Thursday works, but like let's make sure it's before the Lions upset the Chiefs on Thursday Night Football because it's week 1. I'm so excited. I can't wait. The one thing that's like really bumming me out for the past month and up until today and will into the future is I won't be there for the game this weekend. And I'm actually traumatized over this.
I thought someone had hacked her account saying she wasn't going to be there for the home opener. That is devastating.
I know.
We're gonna get a cutout Morgan and we're gonna celebrate as if
yes, bring like a flat Stanley. Yes. Bring it like a flat Stanley, but it's a flat Morgan.
I will put you in my purse. I'll carry you around. I'll let people take pictures with you.
I'm actually terrified of how they would pose.
So if you aren't following these ladies on Twitter, please do. They keep me laughing on Steelers Twitter. So please make sure you're following them because they're hilarious. And we'll talk a little bit about the Pittsburgh Steelers and just them collectively. Because I don't want to sound cliche, but it feels different.
It does. It
feels special. I don't want to jinx anything, but every time, I mean, it feels different. The energy around this team is elevated. It's something we haven't felt in years. And that says a lot being that like Matt Canada's still around. So
there it is. What ding? We're gonna hit the ding every time we say that name, but we're gonna talk about that a little bit later because I know they have feelings towards Matt Canada. So roster overall, was there anything with this 53-man roster that you guys were shocked about?
Not really. I mean,
yeah. Go ahead,
Sam,
Morgan.
go.
Okay. You know what? I feel like I wasn't surprised by the Gentry cut, but a lot of people were upset. And I think, and I'm sorry, Pat, don't kill me for saying this, but I think that they were more upset because of chillin' and grillin' than anything that
the production piece
attributed to the Steelers. Like once we started utilizing Connor Hayward more, I was like, yeah,
the writing was kind of on the wall for Zach Gentry, especially picking up Darnell Washington. I mean, Gentry is a very averagely capable blocking tight end. Other than that, he didn't bring anything to the table that was necessarily remarkable when we were in two tight end sets, which was extremely rare. But when we were, I mean, okay, cool. But like, we don't do that often. So what was he really bringing to the table? And like Sam said, with Connor Hayward and now Darnell Washington, it was just like the end of the road for him. And I think I saw it coming. I think both of y'all saw this coming.
Oh, yeah.
Shocked. And then a lot of people were pissed that he signed where he signed.
Yeah.
Along with he who shall not be named.
Yeah, right. I'm pro player. So if a guy gets a job somewhere, great. I actually had put out a list because, and that was when I was at camp, that was one of the questions I asked Mike Tomlin, how hard is this going to be? And he was just like, they're all hard. He gave me a Tomlin answer to that one, but it was Rodney Williams. He was good as well. So it was, to me, it was a tough choice to make. If you put Connor in the fullback, roster spot, which is fine, you're not getting rid of a Darnell Washington. Pat Freiermuth is Pat Freiermuth. He's solidified. And to me, Gentry was the kind of like, what do we do with you? And 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 the Steelers do players a disservice sometimes because they don't use them. But there's no way I don't know if you guys have seen Darnell Washington in person yet. I have a few times, and it's like, what factory were you in?
Where did you come from?
His presence is just dominating.
Yeah, it is.
You're not letting a player like that go.
Mm-mm. And he still like towers over Pat, and Pat's not a small guy at all.
Right.
To see him and Gentry side by side, and just like, this man, like, what did your parents feed you, and how did you not eat them out of house and home?
I'm telling you, dude is straight out of Pandora. Like, it's unbelievable. He's a freak of nature. I don't know how he does the things that he does, and he has the athleticism that he has at that size. But I mean, I'm so glad he fell to us. I don't know how that happened.
But I'm thankful.
Thank God.
Yeah, I will say it a million times. He is not real, but I'm glad he's on our team.
Oh my God! Right.
So we're going through the roster. There's a couple of guys. Trey Norwood. Not that I was like shocked, but just him being just a young guy. I was, and they didn't bring him on. And Kenny Robinson, which I thought he's a Pittsburgh guy. I thought he did good in camp, and I was shocked he also didn't. Not even on the practice squad or anything like that. But I know Trey was suffering for some injuries, so that didn't really do him any good. But other than that, there weren't too many. Oh my goodness, I can't believe it happened.
But no, there really weren't. But I do think they did have a tough time making some of these cuts. Like, some of these guys were really on the bubble. And I think that's a good thing. I think that says a lot about the talent that they had around them at camp. The fact that fans were genuinely upset that some of these guys were released and then, I mean, even signed back to the practice squad. I think that says a lot. Because in past years, it hasn't felt that way. In past years, it's been like, well, we're definitely going to cut X, Y, and Z. And can we also cut this guy and this guy so we can sign new guys to take over? Like, that's how it's felt in the past.
Yeah.
So the fact that it doesn't feel that way this year probably lends itself a little bit to why we're feeling the way that we are.
Shout out to Omar and Andy, because
dude.
I think that is why we are so electrified, because we've done things in free agency we haven't seen before. And even going into camp, you just felt like they were like, okay, we about to rinse and dry this offensive line and revamp it. And they went in there, immediately made changes, didn't waste any time. And I think that is why this whole team feels so different. So shout out to them. And they did the cuts and trades so respectable. Kevin Dotson getting traded, Kendrick Green getting traded, as opposed to just letting these guys just sit out on the street and wait for someone to pick them up. I have a lot of respect for how they handled those situations.
I do too.
So do I. And you know what was actually really upsetting to me? Like, I get it. Kendrick Green and Kevin Dotson didn't pan out the way that some fans wanted them to on this particular team, but it's really frustrating to see a lot of fans talking badly about them once they left. I mean, they were talking badly about them while they were here too, but once they were gone, it's like, I hope these guys hit their stride and find their place on these teams and be the guys that we thought they were going to be when we drafted them. It's really upsetting to see people being like, I'm surprised we got anything I mean, you know what I mean? Whatever.
Yeah, it is. It is. I don't know how you feel, Sam, but and sometimes it's not their fault. The Pittsburgh Steelers, to me, did not use Kendrick Green properly. They just didn't.
Right. They drafted him and then stuck him in a position that he didn't play.
Right.
They said, oh, you're going to be a perfect center, except for then he wasn't. And it's like, not that they set him up to fail, but they didn't set him up to succeed, if you will.
Exactly.
It's like it could really go either way. So,
and I mean, I don't know if y'all saw Ben speaking about Kendrick Green, but Ben was like, they brought this dude in who was a guard by trade to be my center. Like, that's a little, I mean, think about that for a second. That's a little bit disrespectful to Ben Roethlisberger. But
and to fill in for a guy like Marquise Pouncey, like you wouldn't even bring in a Kenny Pickett to come in and start at QB, but you would bring in a Kendrick Green off the street to come in and be center. You wouldn't even get a vet from,
I mean, Ryan Jensen was a free agent that year. and we didn't go after him. We drafted a guard to play center. That doesn't make any sense. So like, I hope he finds his spot because I think we did that kid wrong.
We did. And Kevin, I don't know. That was one thing. I'm like, Kevin, I don't know about that one.
No.
So, but I hope that he definitely goes to Houston and balls out and claims his spot, whether it's at guard or whatever.
Right.
But you saw the guy. You saw him struggling.
Yeah.
Every rep.
That's the thing. People forget that, athletes are people too. I know that's so crazy and they don't understand that. But like, of course, they see what you guys are saying. You're telling them they suck. You're telling them this. You're telling them that. Like, you don't think that these players put that pressure on themselves anyways?
Yeah.
Let them go out there and play and do their job.
Yep. And even with Kevin as well, them switching him, opposite sizes too. So, credit to those guys. I hope they go to ball out in LA, ball out in Houston, and we'll see them both this season. So moving on, let's just go ahead and get all our feelings out about Matt Canada before we even talk about this week's matchup. I feel like I wear a Matt Canada cape. I wear a Matt Canada cape. I'm like the Matt Canada savior sometimes. I give him the benefit of the doubt. I'm gonna lead with that. The man came in, to a situation with Ben with no center, seeing what Kevin put in front of him. Offensive line was and had to make something shake. Ben getting rid of the ball as fast as he did. Then you come into the next season, you don't have a quarterback. You have 2 new quarterbacks to this whole organization. Your offensive line is still kind of but you still somehow figure out a way to make it work. With the play calling and kind of having a tight leash on it. The fans hated him. But still, some way, I feel like they figured out a way to kind of roll with the punches there. So I will ask you ladies, how are you feeling about Matt Canada in year 3?
I actually tweeted this the other day and I said, am I going to owe Matt Canada an apology? And honestly, I'm hoping that I do. I'm hoping that this season proves that I owe him an apology.
I love to hear it.
The thing about Matt Canada is he has rarely found success as an offensive coordinator, whether we're talking collegiate ranks or we're talking in the NFL. He has rarely been successful in that role. Now, do I think he's a complete and utter failure for our team specifically? No, I don't, for the exact reasons that Dee mentioned. And I do think that if preseason is any indication of what Matt Canada could potentially bring to an offense that's much better tooled for the specific offense that he likes to run, which I believe we have now, maybe that's when he finally takes off. Maybe he just writes an offense that's very specific and needs to be tooled correctly. Maybe that's the issue that we've been having. That being said, I would like to have a coordinator that has a little bit more of a diversified portfolio, if you will. But at the end of the day, I think this week will be really telling. And I know we don't want to talk about Niners just yet, but I do think that it'll be a really good example of what we could expect to see from Matt Canada throughout the year, because he likes lateral movement. Matt Canada loves a jet sweep. He loves a lateral pass. And Joey Bosa sets an edge better than anyone in the league besides TJ Watt. So that'll be a really, really interesting matchup, because when you're moving laterally, the most important thing defensively is to set that edge, and Joey Bosa is going to do it. So if Matt Canada can adapt the offense beyond, what his ego likes to do or what his minimal playbook likes to do, that will maybe open some doors for some Steelers fans to come back and be like, maybe I was wrong. Well, I don't know if they'll admit they were wrong, but
I will.
Yeah, I'm hoping. Like I said, I've been wearing my cape. I give him his flowers when it's due, and I will critique as necessary. The big thing for me is the leash to me is off, so to speak, for Kenny. I think he has the freedom. We want to see.
Did I just call him Joey Bosa?
You said Bosa. We know what you're talking about.
Nick Bosa. My God.
The Bosa
honestly,
will be okay.
If you did, my brain just defaulted to the correct
I know,
one.
mine
we knew what you were talking about.
Obviously mine
Bosa
too.
Barbs are the
Bosa.
only ones that's gonna care. So
Good Lord. I was like, wait, I think I just
The
glitched.
Bosa Barbs. I love
the
that.
Bosa Barbs, they
Sheesh.
came back outside yesterday. They've been so quiet, shaking in their boots. The Barbs are all over the place. But as far as like Matt Canada, I feel like I said, the leash is kind of off of Kenny. He's gonna have way more freedom and trust than the previous year, and there was some continuity and consistency in this offense that he didn't have last year. And if you just look about the pieces that he lost, like, yeah, they had Deontay, you had Claypool going into like you had all these elements, but then things kind of fizzled away. And we all know what George Pickens is capable of, but adding, I don't even think that you guys are going to see Darnell Washington in full form until maybe a little bit later on in the season. Because I'm like, go out there and block and let them think that's all we're going to be using you for, and then we're going to put you in the offense. So we'll see how that plays out. But Matt Canada has a gold mine in my mind, and he has to get out of his own way. I'm sure he will. I think he's going to be able to get some sorries from some people.
Do we think that if he is more of the same this year, do we think this is the end of the road for him?
Oh, yeah. So last year I said that he wasn't going to get fired. This is going to be his year. This is his last year, I believe, on his contract. That this is it. So he has to put up. It's kind of like a put up or shut up, and that probably goes for a couple of people on the team. But we'll just leave it at we'll leave it at him. But this is it. This is his book of work on display. And whether it's for the next team or for the Steelers to come with another contract with him, this is him.
I agree with that too, because now Kenny's actually really jiving with the offense. Because I can remember when we drafted Kenny, I was actually messaging a player, and they were like, they asked me, "How do you feel about the pick?" And so I reversed it on them, and I said, "How do you feel about the pick?" And they said, "I don't know. I'm going to ride with Mitch until we see what happens." And I think, now that these players are trusting Kenny and they have this connection.
Yep.
Matt Canada needs, like you said, to get out of his own way. Let that connection happen. Let it go.
I mean, I think we even saw a glimpse of it. We saw I'm gushing because when we saw that Pat Freiermuth touchdown in preseason, we were like, oh, I know I was just overwhelmed. I need more. I want more. Give me more of that right there.
I know.
While we're talking about that, Pat, the dab. Can we never again? Look at me.
He's not gonna stop. He was at the baseball game doing it. He said he's gonna do it. It's not gonna stop.
I feel like did he set a record for like the world's longest dab? Because it felt like the dab that never ended.
It was like so funny.
He was frozen.
Because he's like he glitched.
His arms got stuck.
He's just in permanent dab mode now.
Oh my goodness. And it was funny at camp. He did it because I mentioned it as he was warming up, and so I'm standing right there. He catches the pass in the end zone, and then I just say it. I say dab, and as I'm saying it, he just dabs. I'm like, and the kids looking at me like, "How did you know he was going to do that?" I'm like,
it's just a feeling.
So hopefully, but hey, look, whatever it takes. If that's what he got to do, dab your life away. I don't care.
If he's scoring touchdowns, I guess it's fine.
Yes, dab your life away. That's
maybe just make it quicker.
Also, the opening touchdowns. I'm sorry, like we've never seen opening drive touchdowns. Like we've never.
I could cry.
I know.
Maybe every time that on its own feels so different.
It's so refreshing. People don't understand 3 and out. 3 and outs is where we live. Like we have property in 3 and out on an opening drive.
Exactly. I could build my retirement off the property we built on 3 and outs on the opening drives.
So yeah, we got real estate right there. Okay. So, let's get into this matchup, ladies. Like I said, the Bosa Barbs are barbing. They got their guy signed. I think that he may have limited snaps just because he hasn't been with the team. I'm sure he's been doing his own set of workouts and he's in decent condition. But he probably will be on a snap count, which is fine. I don't have a problem with that. Dan Moore, good luck to you, sir. But I think that I'm not discounting Bosa, but I also didn't want any type of excuse because we will be
Agreed.
giving out PPPs. I know you heard of PPP loans. It will be a Purdy Pity Party parade in Pittsburgh. So
Yep.
I want to hear your thoughts on what this team can do and will do against these 49ers.
I mean, with Nick, now see, I didn't glitch. With Nick back, I do think it's going to be a huge challenge for this team. I mean, number one, I will say we always kind of come out swinging game one, whether it's against the Bengals or the Bills. We do show up, and I love that. All of our guys are fresh, ready to go. I do think that with Nick Bosa being on a snap count, that will play a big part in, like I was just talking about, Matt Canada loves that lateral offense. I think that's going to open up his ability to do that a little bit more. Nick is not going to have – he'll be fresh. He'll be good. And when he's ready to go, my husband said this the other day, when he's ready to go, he's ready to go. And that's going to be Nick at his finest, but he's going to lose it quicker. So look for this team to really capitalize that off later in the game when he doesn't have his football legs yet, basically. So I think that if we can come in strong, like we typically do in game one, I will say.
Yeah, deep in strong.
We do.
Yeah. Show up. If TJ has a game like he typically has game one, I mean, Brock Purdy, thoughts and prayers, my friend, because I don't want to be you. I don't think anyone wants to be you right now. And
Purdy Pretty Party.
Purdy Pretty Party will be in full effect. It's going to be good. I think that it's bothering me just a little bit that all the talking heads in the media are now saying, oh, the Steelers are such a good team and they're a sleeper team and y'all are sleeping on the Steelers. And while I appreciate the sentiment because it is 100% true, stop saying it. Like, shut up. It's frustrating.
I don't even like them talking about us. Don't talk about you.
I'm with you.
Even when we were 11-0, you were like, oh yeah, whatever. Like,
Mickey Mouse 11-0. Yeah.
Any other team go 11-0. You're talking about them every show. They got their own segment. When are they going to lose? Right. So even when we had that great of a start, they were like, oh, we're good. We're good on them. We'll talk about somebody else. So now that they're consistently calling us sleepers and don't sleep on them, I don't even want to hear it.
I know. And I do think that I think that offense versus our defense, we have their number. We 100% have their number. That's going to be the matchup that we're going to win the game off of. I have a lot of faith in our offense, but the Niners defense is so strong in a lot of areas that we are kind of weak offensively. So that's going to be the tough part of that matchup. I think if we come out and we score on an opening drive and we set the tone from the jump, we have a really, really good shot of making this thing happen.
Something that also probably ties in Darnell Washington here is that Nick Bosa can rush from both sides. He's not like TJ Watt where he predominantly rushes from one side or another. He can do both. And so if Darnell Washington is able to help the tackles in that pass rush, like that's in itself is a game changer.
Yeah. And that's exactly why I said what I said about Darnell. I think they're going to just be using him as almost a decoy for, I don't know, give me the first.
Like an extra line.
Give me lineman the first few games. This man's not going to be out there, but as soon as he's able to make you think, all he's going to do is be holding on to you tight, and he's going to break away and catch the ball. You know what I mean? Definitely going to be in the red zone packages. I think he's my new obsession. I mean that in the most respectful way. Darnell Washington is like my new obsession, and I don't know how this team is not.
Wait, so is it Minka and then Darnell, or
I feel like Minka's like a standard that can't be messed with. Minka,
I just have to make sure because I know Minka. Yeah, he is on his own island.
Yeah, he's on his own island, and it's just like, but when you look at Darnell, it's like a magical thing. Like, okay, what else can you do? Like, can you you like stand on one foot? And like, I'm obsessed to see what else he can do.
Yeah,
and that's kind of where the like
he's almost like a secret weapon type of player.
Yes,
he can do so many things. So it's almost like Connor Hayward, right? Like you can have him playing tight end or doing fullback. It's like you don't know where they're going to put him, and that's a really hard thing for other teams to plan for because you don't know how they're going to be utilized.
Connor is my guy that I think
Mhm.
is going to be the breakout star that no one's probably talking about.
Yeah.
Connor has solidified himself on special teams and on this offense, and he's the
Mhm.
guy you got to account for. I know everybody's stuck
Right.
on George and, of course, Deontay, and they dog him a little bit because of the lack of touchdowns. But
Mhm.
Connor Haywood, like,
I know.
watch out. Watch out for the
Yeah.
guy. Like he plays bigger than he is. And I
Yeah.
love
I'm also really, really excited to see how this defense has been game planning for Christian McCaffrey. Like, this
tackling.
guy
Oh
is
gosh.
arguably the best running back in the league. And
Yeah.
we have some guys on defense who I think can be prolific in stopping the run. And I'm going to be really interested to see it. I saw that Cam Hayward didn't practice today because of a stomach. It just said stomach. So I don't know if
Was
that's
it
an
him or
injury.
Larry? It was Cam. Yeah.
It was
It was
Okay.
Cam.
I
Cam.
was looking
It
at
was
it. I couldn't
Cam.
tell.
And it
Okay.
said stomach, but is that a stomach injury or is it a stomach
Nick
bug? Like,
No, I think it
Faribault,
wasn't injury related. I think it. Yeah, I don't think it was. I thought
he said
I
it.
saw it next to Larry's name, but because he didn't
Yeah,
practice, but I could have misread that because I
Larry
don't
was a
think
foot, I believe. And
Larry has
Cam
his
is
foot
Larry
on.
Foot.
Larry Foot.
So DeMarvin Leal, I don't know what kind of snap count if Larry's playing, he'll be on, but DeMarvin is also massive.
Right.
Yeah.
Also
Yeah.
massive. But this inside linebacker, since you brought that up, they are special to me. That was the group,
Mhm.
and I apologized online for having the biggest question mark on that group because it was such a high turnover there.
Mhm.
But I think we're good. I think we're good. I
I
think we're
mean,
good.
just a slight upgrade from where we were last year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's all I'm
And
going to
I'm
say.
I'm
I'm
excited
not going
because
to
I
name
don't.
names.
Yeah, okay. So I
I'm
won't do that
excited.
either. I was going to. I was like, I'm excited because I don't have to hear the beep slander every game. Um, but I think the
We all know who
energy,
Beep is.
yes, the energy, Quan Alexander, Cole, oh
Love.
my goodness, and E. Landon, the energy
Mhm.
they're bringing, the hard hitting. If these guys can just double up do more of the tackling. I feel like Miles Jack had that what we
Yeah.
missed. But I mean, he was battling an injury pretty much all year.
Mhm.
But
Right.
I think this group is an upgrade. It's no shade to nobody that was on the linebacker group last year. Um,
Right.
and I've been team Mark Robinson, so it is what it
Yeah.
is.
Yeah.
But I think these guys have it, and I'm proud, super proud.
Me
Yeah.
too. I really genuinely think that matchup against McCaffrey is also going to be so key in this game because
Yes.
if we can make the Niners a more one-dimensional team
Yep.
and put all the pressure on Brock Purdy, I mean,
Mhm.
bro, come on.
Yeah. Right.
We're not talking about Tom Brady.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
telling. Look,
Right.
man, I want to be quiet so bad, but I just
I
feel like
know.
they're gonna give this like week one Steelers defense. You don't want to see them. Week one Steelers defense, they're a totally different beast. I've counted them out against the week one game against the Bills, and I said, oh, I shouldn't have
Well,
done that.
and here's the
2
thing
years
is,
ago,
yeah,
yeah, 2 years
with
I
the
counted them
offense,
out. I said we're gonna lose in Buffalo.
yeah. I mean, we've definitely counted out our team before. I can remember recording Yinzhers episodes and being like, I don't even know, like with the
Yeah.
way the offense was and the defense and everything. And it's like this year, if the offense is doing what it's supposed to do, the defense isn't going to constantly be on the field and gassed.
Yep. I think we
It
had that
does feel
confidence.
like we have that balance that we haven't had in so long. And I genuinely cannot vocalize how exciting that is, but I know you guys feel it with me. Like, and I know that all Steelers fans feel it with me. Like, I got so pumped every single time we're scoring on these opening drives. And I would text my husband or my dad and I'd be like, oh my God, we just scored opening drive. And my dad kind of gets it because he's a huge Steelers fan, but my husband would be like, it's preseason. So what? I'm like, do you understand how long it has been? I'm in a drought.
They don't understand. They don't understand. And it's
No.
okay. And it's all right. And I just hope that those guys go out there and prove it. And I'm so excited. So I'll just go ahead and get into the predictions for the game. I'm gonna make it tough for you. You guys have a score prediction.
Oh. I'm
going to say 24-21 Steelers.
Okay.
I would
21
say, yeah.
Number. The first to 21.
You know what? Change that. 21-17 Steelers.
That's exactly what I was thinking in my head. I think it's going to be a low-scoring game.
Yeah. 21 has been our nemesis for about 2 seasons. Could be 3, but 2 for sure. 21 points has been really tough for the Steelers to get to. And some games, if they got there, they would have won the game.
Right.
19 points is not enough. So they got to get to 21. And I feel like they can do it. From what I've seen from them so far, I think they have the capability to do it. So I do think the Steelers win this game. But ladies, I don't want to stop. I don't want it to end. I want to continue this conversation because there's so much being the beginning of the season. So I'm gonna ask you nicely if you want to come back on the show. So we can,
anytime.
I would love to have you
always.
back, this was just, it went by too fast and it had too much fun, and we have a lot to discuss just post week 1. So love to have you back on. And everyone, please give these ladies a follow. Please let everyone know where to follow you and where they can look at Yinzhers this upcoming season.
Sam, you want to go?
Oh, yep. You know what? Sorry, I had a brain fog or something. So Samantha, oh my God. Sorry, you guys, I got suspended from Twitter. So my new handle is Sports Bunny with an I.
And I'm Tokyo Exmo. You can follow Yinzhers on Twitter, YINZHERS, and we may be back in a week. Okay. So I'm not going to make any promises, but the plan is that Yinzhers is back in full force. So Dee, you'll have to come on Yinzhers as well.
Yeah, for sure. I would love to come on and talk to you ladies, and everyone misses you guys. So hurry up, get back.
Everyone. Yeah. That's a little bit of a blanket statement because I know some people definitely don't miss.
Follow them on Twitter. You heard their Twitter handles. Go follow them and you will understand what she means. Okay. I'm going to leave it there. They are pure comedy. I cannot wait to interact with you guys online, especially when this goes out. Thank you so much, Sam and Morgan. You guys are awesome. And
Thank you for having us.
Yeah, no problem. I'll see you back here in a few weeks. We'll probably talk bye week or after bye week. So please prepare, put me on your calendar, and let's go Steelers. Here we go.
Here we go.